everybody, how's it going? It's time for the Across the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. It's back! We're back! We're not dead. Contrary to popular belief, or maybe what some of you are hoping, we're still here. And we have a guest this evening. And just to let everybody know right off the top, got some things going on. There was no link put out earlier. Things are just sort of kind of crazy over here, and at some point I may have to leave during the stream. If that happens, I will make sure that Tommy and Ian are front and center, and I'll remove my window, and once the show ends, if that were to happen, it'll just continue and you'll be watching frozen faces, because I'm assuming they'd leave the Skype call. Without further ado, though, haven't talked to him in a while, haven't been on here in a while. The last few shows we did, man, were just fucking fire. What's going on, Ian?
Well, new apartment, new. One second. Am I getting an echo from anyone?
No, you're good on my end. You are good.
I have an echo, Sean.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
That's not good, because it's not showing that there should be an echo.
Testing. Oh no, I'm good now. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it's been a long while actually. It's been, I think, just over a month. New apartment, new city, new school, very busy. It's been a wild month, but I'm very glad to be back. It's been too long to talk about Star Wars. I don't have many people to talk about it out here in Korea, but more than happy to be back and doing this exciting episode with a couple awesome stuff with Star Wars Episode 1. It's been one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I don't know, we did a list like a long time ago. It's not like in my top half, but it's got nostalgia for me, so this will be a good one. I'm excited for this.
The more that I watch this, the more I enjoy it. This is one of my absolute favorite documentaries. I just think it's so wonderfully put together. It's not too long, it's not too short. And I think you get a better idea of what Lucas was trying for with the Phantom Menace. Obviously didn't hit on all spots. I do notice my mic's having some issues, though, which is not normal. It's the type of day it is, though. And we're going to get right into the watch along here soon. Our numbers are going to be shit. There's not going to be a lot of people that see this video live because there was no link put out prior just because of how crazy the day was, but people will see it after the fact and it'll do all right. Tommy B, man, missed you last night on Fandom Empire Live, but you're here tonight. How's it going? What the fuck is on your face?
You're such a charming person, as always, Sean. Thank you very much for the compliment on my wonderful new glasses. Yeah, it was, last night was missed, but I had a few things that had to be tended to, and everything's going well, just hanging in there. Happy we are now at the weekend. We have arrived, and next week's a shorter week, so can't complain. I don't know if I've ever seen this before, or if I have, it was years ago. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm stoked. I'm watching it on Jade's iPad. That way I don't have to flick through screens. So I'm at the 1 second mark. You'll see the Lucasfilm logo for everybody out there. I mean, I could just hold it like this for the entire show and watch it backwards, but that would that'd probably give me a headache. So I'm pretty excited because I haven't... I've watched this with Jade, and I've watched it by myself. When I was younger, I used to love watching this and the prequel trilogy webisodes and featurettes and the documentaries that go with it, like Revenge of the Sith had Within a Minute. And I don't know about you guys, if you had like any habits that you would do when you watched stuff when you were younger, but for me, I'd eat like fucking 2 or 3 bowls, huge heaping bowls of Fruit Loops while watching Star Wars documentaries, even with, what's the big one that came out on the DVD set about the original trilogy? Oh, man. I don't remember it, but it's like 2.5 hours.
The one called was it called Star Wars? No, Empire of Dreams.
Empire of Dreams, that's it. Look at you.
Trivia point to Tommy.
Yeah, big points, big points. When's the last time either of you guys watched a Star Wars documentary?
Well, I went through this earlier this week, so this week for this one. Prior to rewatching this particular video, I want to say it's actually been a few months. I did do it pretty recently. I think it's been within the last, not 2021 year, but within 2020. I think I did it. That or it was late 2019, and it was episode 2 stuff. So. I think behind the scenes stuff is always fun, and that's for the movies. In terms of video games and looking behind the scenes, I did the ILM tour. That's what it was. I was going through ILM with the new trilogy, and I think I was linking a bunch of the stuff into the chat as well when I did that. So that was kind of fun to go through and twist my opinion even more on the new trilogy, because I already have my strong enough opinions. But then suddenly to see what goals they had, oh my goodness, that was a ride for me. But in terms of the rest of the movies, the prior 6 movies, I didn't do a whole lot of behind the scenes lately. My first documentary style in Star Wars, though, I do remember I have the original box set trilogy, not the individual boxes, for the VHS of the original trilogy. And at the very beginning of that, they've got the interviews.
Are you talking the special edition ones from '97? Where it has McCallum and Lucas and I think John Knoll talking about the changes at the beginning.
I think John Williams as well at one point. But yes, absolutely. Those ones there. And when I was a kid, I remember fast forwarding through them. Like, this is useless information. I have nothing to do with this. This isn't Star Wars. And then I just let it go on at one point. And it was very interesting to go through it and learn quite a lot from it as well. Yeah, so that was the first stuff. But lately, not a whole lot of behind the scenes. How about you, Tommy?
I would say the last time I watched something that was behind the scenes was probably last year. When they had the making of The Mandalorian season 1. That was probably it for me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed what they did with, you got the 8 episodes. I wasn't as big of a fan as what they did with season 2 because it was just a 1-hour thing, and you could tell even then they didn't want to show very much of Cara Dune, and they showed nothing of Luke, and it was very clear why they chose to do it that way. The pandemic obviously had an effect on it too, but I don't know. It's lots of hidden agendas going on in the Star Wars fandom and even Star Wars itself right now, and it's frustrating, but I still love it, and I still have my Kieran look-alike Luke Skywalker Last Jedi pop that sits on my desk. Old man Kieran. So, guys, if you're ready, I'm ready to dive into this. I haven't seen this one, and I won't lie, I probably watch this one once or twice a year. I love it that much. So,
it's a hard watch at the same time because we know looking at this what eventually happens to certain individuals, and it is hard to watch and hard to stomach at that same point. But it is definitely an entertaining video for sure.
Oh, did you end up watching it before? I know you said you were
a bit of it. Yeah.
Did you? All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna link the video in the chat again for anybody who's interested in following along. I know you linked it at the beginning, but anyone else who joined, here's the link of the video we're gonna go through. Don't know if that worked in the chat.
I see nothing.
Yeah, it might have just gotten auto-filtered by YouTube. You might have to do it again.
Interesting.
There we go.
Yeah,
thanks, Tommy.
That's weird. Alrighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to count down from 3. And it's not going to be like just 3, 2, 1, and then click it. I'll say go. Click it on go.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit. Not too much, but... Just think, at one point in time, for a very long time, like a decade and a half, there was only 3 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that.
It's incredible to think that while it had gone so long, that he actually did have a vision, and the vision twisted and moved around a fair bit, but his vision really does show when you see him through the producing of
I might have
Star
fucked up.
Wars,
What's
the
your
production.
timestamp, guys?
104.
104, yeah. Okay, so hang on. Let me know when you're at 120.
Oh.
I paused it.
Okay.
I'll click play once you're there.
Looking for the storyboarding point?
Well, I mean, I just accidentally went forward.
120.
120. All right, here we go.
You gonna count down again?
Oh, I already clicked. Fuck. God.
Oh.
Let's go back to 120.
All right.
We'll start from 120 again. Oh, I'm at 122. Close enough.
Okay, I'll go to 122. I'm ready. When you want to count down?
You good, Tommy? Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, go. I love this part. I've seen this documentary so many times. And
switching between the practical and the special?
Like, just imagine being one of those guys behind him with how fast he's going through all of this.
Not only how fast he's going through this, remember, like, the technology of the green screen, blue screen special effects, they're pioneering it here.
Yeah.
So when he's marking all this up, they're sitting there like, we don't have technology for this. What the hell do we
Look
do?
on that guy's face.
We've never seen this before. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
my
it's
God.
Incredible.
Oh, my God. And just think, that's just one of several boards. Oh, my God.
Yeah. He had a blue marker. What do you guys think the blue marker was for? So, like, it was clear the yellow and red, practical and special, but there's a blue there.
I'm not sure.
Can't think about what it might be. Maybe it was a middle ground. Jar Jar, man.
Yeah, I wonder why that's maybe.
Yeah, Jar Jar's the key. Can't forget about Jar
He's
Jar.
everything, yeah.
Oof. Man, this really makes me feel old looking at John Knoll as a baby. We don't have a good way of doing that.
Look at the battle droids as well. The way that the battle droids changed in terms of the heads. Like,
Yeah.
they originally had a hinged head. Boon Daiv looks exactly the same. That was fully realized.
There's this like huge 600-page hardcover book that was just released last year, but the making of the prequel trilogy, and it's not actually a Disney product. It was it's made by someone else and through George Lucas, and he gives interviews on what his sequel trilogy would have been like. They want like $200 for it. I really want it, but $200 for a book, eek.
That's a lot, yeah. Even as a coffee table book, because that's what it ends up being.
Yeah.
The the concept of Obi-Wan and his haircut, my God.
Oh, the two dang.
Not
oh,
a good
my
haircut.
God.
Yeah, not a good haircut. We'll see that again later on with Ewan. It's 9. I love seeing the concept art in the background as well. Not only from the storyboard, but also existing original trilogy artwork.
I was going to say, the one behind him is actually from a novel. The one behind McCallum's right shoulder there. I forget what novel cover that is.
But I love that they have it always on the walls. Like, even if it's not relevant to the project they're working on, it's a source of material inspiration. Little Anakins.
I wonder what he's thinking here as he's sitting at the table with these kids. Like, shit.
Yeah.
I should have wrote him older.
Right? God, Natalie Portman's so young there.
Not even of age.
Yeah.
Rick McCallum, skinny. Very skinny.
Oh, this is so interesting. The possible Anakin.
Are you an angel?
Isn't it? Yeah. It's not Iago, is it?
I thought it was Iago.
I thought it was Iago.
Yeah.
I love how this is literally the take from the movie, too. He does it exactly the same.
He definitely had, I know Jake Lloyd gets a lot of criticism, but he has something in his tone that the other two didn't.
Oh, yeah. And you actually hear them say it a little bit in a little bit when they're choosing him. There's something more genuine about his behavior. In hindsight, like looking back at my first reactions to Jake Lloyd as well, I remember having a bit of like a cringe in myself. But a lot of that has to do, as they're saying, he's more natural, more natural body language. I think I associate it with how I would have been as a child. It's that natural. And
oh my God, what the hell was that?
The practical dummy for Jar Jar, yeah. Because they hadn't decided if they're doing practical or full special for Jar Jar yet.
Oh my God, kill that fucking thing with fire.
Man.
Spear and everything.
I'm going to see that fucking Jar Jar thing in my nightmares tonight.
Just to let the chat know, we are currently watching the make. Oh my God, those glasses! The making. There's your new glasses, Tommy. The ones she was wearing. We're watching the making of the Phantom Menace, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Wow, I'm Jake Lloyding it. Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. The beginning. It's an hour and 6-minute documentary. The link is back in the chat if you scroll back. All three of us are watching it and just sort of giving our thoughts on what we're seeing. And I don't know, I have a guilty pleasure watching the making of.
I love that. What do you think the budget is? Somewhere around $50,000.
I mean, 50 was right. Not the 1,000 part, though.
Aaron's pointing out in the chat that one of their daughters has a theory that Jar Jar being comedic relief without Jar Jar, Phantom Menace would have been very dry. I actually strongly agree. I don't support the hatred of Jar Jar Binks. He fits a necessary role in the universe.
I just thought he was in the movie too much. I was fine with the way he was.
Once we get R2 and C-3PO, he could have taken a step back because C-3PO and R2-D2 have always been the comedic relief. But the hatred that the character got that led to oh my God, pulling a blank. Ahmed Best, his experience as the actor of Jar Jar, it's heartbreaking.
Is it Capri King? Capril King? I can't really... Capri King? Asks if Baby Yoda is going to be in the new show. If you're talking about the Bad Batch, I've heard some rumors about that, but don't know anything definitive.
The Bad Batch take him and raise him. I love that Spielberg just shows up. It's like, oh yeah. He puts the arm upside down. Oh, also, I love that as they're walking around the lot here, they've got tanks just sitting around
Yeah.
casually.
Everyone just assumes, oh, well, everything was digital, and it's not true.
No, most
Phantom
of this
Menace
was,
had a
at
lot of
least half
practical
is
effects.
practical, yeah.
They went mostly digital after this movie.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Chris Newman was one of the big behind-the-scenes guys in Game of Thrones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's worried about who's going to say action.
I do like that in the earlier days, George Lucas definitely has a very laid-back behavior and attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had mad respect for him, always. And without him, we wouldn't have Star Wars. And so, again, like when it came down to the hatred that he got for the prequels, I don't think it's founded. I don't understand it.
And now everybody who hates the sequel's like, well, why can't we have George back?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Just he's a hero to me. I've always wanted to meet him. Yeah, George Lucas has always been a huge hero for me.
I couldn't wear that. I would.
No.
I'd freak out.
I'd freak out without the silicone skin on. Like the skeleton is terrifying. It's amazing how much he has to stretch his jaws to even move the mouth a little bit. Like, it's barely moving, and this is cutting edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't wear that thing either. It would freak me out.
Like, look how little the mouth moved there. That's incredible. The sideways looks he gets. I don't care who pays for it.
I'll answer this one, boys. Mark Ryan says, so now that the It's Me Billy trailer's out, what did you guys think of it? It blew me away. This is not a fan film. The truth is, Mark, I got to see the It's Me Billy trailer about a week ago. Dave reached out to a few of us and threw us a screener. It was very kind of him to do so. I had to keep my mouth shut about it, but I was definitely subtly hinting at it during streams. It's amazing. I think they raised about $70,000, and yeah, it doesn't look like a fan film at all. It is a short film, and for all intents and purposes, it is a fan film, but it's not going to look like it. Dave and Bruce and company have knocked it out of the park, Mark. Can't wait to see the actual film, which I think is May 28th.
The casting of Ewan McGregor here feels so lighthearted. Like the excitement amongst everybody that Ewan's going to call is excellent.
Have you seen the part when you were watching it before where they have him sitting in the chair and they're screwing around with his hair and Lucas's daughter's in there and
Yes.
he makes the comment about, well, then he can wear the wig. And he's like,
Yeah.
and play the part. Again, if you guys have just joined the stream, we are currently doing a watch-along of the making of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The link is in the chat. I'll post it again so you can check it out. We are at the 14 minutes, 52 seconds for me. And we got Rick McCallum talking to Ewan McGregor on the phone.
I like that he also said that Liam Neeson's like super behind you and joining the crew as well. It's not even like the producers that are like, oh yeah, like Ewan McGregor being here. He's like, man, Liam Neeson, he's stoked. She's working a Amidala wig in the back, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Luscious Scottish Highland hair.
Man, I don't know what he was thinking when they thought about leaving both of the, I forget what they're called. Oh, man.
Time to cut the hair.
He's got the lore in his head. That's so awesome.
Yeah. I really do think, I mean, we can debate this for years, that when he looks back at it now, like you always, like he was at a point where he was ready to sell, and obviously he got a lot of money for it. But in all the interviews I've seen with him since, you can almost tell like he kind of regrets it, letting it go.
The selling of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, here comes the legend Ahmed. Such a cool guy. You could see he's got such charisma when he walks around the set.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
People love him. Such an amazing guy. $461 shots with Jar Jar Binks.
Cut that in half, and it would have been good.
I love that they're still debating at this point. Like, he's in the costume. And
Yeah,
like,
they're getting ready to shoot, and they don't know what they're going to do.
But this is where they started. This is the moment that they're pioneering practical samples for digital production.
For sure.
Where they would be able to extract the appropriate lighting and shadows, movement, material wear that you would need to make a very convincing digital animation. This is where it all starts. Coffee. Look at this guy. Joker. I love him.
I love how the head is a hat.
Yeah. Got the visor on. Oh, Sebulba's engine right there. Like, the pod racers are practical, man. God, that's awesome. Got ships in the background there. Or those pod racers as well.
Did you get to the part where they're in Tunisia? Or Tunisia?
I'm at 1920. Oh, you mean before?
Before, yeah.
Yeah.
Those poor pods.
Engine back. Yeah, material testing. I love it. Is he wearing stilts? That's something that I'm still debating on. I don't know if he's just got really long legs or if he's wearing stilts.
Oh, this is before they switched to the PVC pipeline for the lightsabers.
Yeah. You can see how hard they're practicing, though. They're bending the rods.
Yeah.
Gillard. Ray Park, I think, shows up not long after this.
Yeah. Fucking Liam Neeson.
Look at his shoes. Floppy shoes. I like how into it he gets.
Oh my god.
As an actor, he's like throwing his own little sound effects, and then you get Ewan McGregor, who's
Just
bending his saber, trying to kill Ray Park. Once more with feeling, he says, after the lightsaber's bent in half. Ray Park took a hit head there. Trying to see what they're working on in the background there. It looks like the ships. It's the Naboo yacht. Man, imagine that the moment of picking your lightsaber. That's incredible.
The fact that that Lucas was willing to let him
Yeah.
be able to choose the hilt and not be alien. No, he's got to have this one. That's pretty cool. You'd never see that in Hollywood today.
lightsabers.
But they put production cost into making and drafting all these hilts with the intention that he would pick one of them.
Oh, so they didn't even have the lightsabers all picked out for the characters. They got to pick their own.
Yeah, that's fucking badass.
Got to keep them as well, I believe.
Yes, Ewan has a few of his. Be right back, fellas. Nothing major. I gotta use the washroom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Everyone's so into it. Even the people standing by are like, yes, lightsaber picking. Oh, that's what's his name?
Darth Vader, what happens to him? He joins the film business.
Kitster. Imagine if her name was Shmai Skywalker. I always liked the dynamic between Jake, like young Anakin and Shmi. She always felt very genuine.
How the hell was that thing moving? That droid?
The R2? Or the Yoda?
Yeah.
Oh, what time are you at? Maybe I have to pause.
I am at 24. Now I moved a little.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering that too. I've seen this before, but the that R2 floating definitely was...
Yeah, I didn't see any cables or anything.
Movie magic. Do you know how long Ray Park had to sit for makeup every day?
How long Ray Park had to what?
Sit for the makeup and prosthesis.
Nope. How long?
Oh, 5 hours apparently.
Holy shit.
Every time he had to go on set, 5 hours of makeup. Oh man, that's funny as well. Seeing Darth Maul lean forward, shake everyone's like, "Oh, hello, how are you doing today?" What color would my lightsaber be? Sean's asking in the chat. What color would we pick? I don't know. I'm inclined towards a red lightsaber because my Sith has always had a red lightsaber with a black core.
I've always really appreciated the yellow lightsabers of the expanded universe.
Yes.
Of course,
Yellow
we never
with a
really
fire.
get one until the end of The Rise of Skywalker on screen, and it doesn't even get used.
That is true. Yellow's a good choice. She's 16 years old. She's acting so darn well. The two of them had a good dynamic there, Ian McDiarmid. Third best character in Star Wars. What Sean's asking. Look at the tanks! Oh, I love it. It's practical. That's solid foam right there. That's all ion magic right there. Third best character in all of Star Wars. That's a hard one. We got to think on that.
Yeah, that's a weird question.
Very specific. Wonder what the cast is for right behind them there. Oh, you want to know what? I think that cast that they just walked by was the droid carrier, the land tank, whatchamacallit? MTT. I like to get the small set so they can envision where they're moving around, what they're jumping around. Sean coming back in now.
Mini trampoline.
Yeah, and he did a proper jump too. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Good. Sean C was asking in chat 2 questions. What color would you pick for your lightsaber? And who is your third favorite Star Wars character?
Oh
Or
man.
the third best, character in Star Wars. Also, the stunt actor of Qui-Gon just kind of casually holding up the plank the whole time there is great.
Lightsaber for the longest time would have been blue. And even though I'm not a big Mace Windu fan, I think I'm gonna go purple just because of Revan and Jaina Solo, and I love both of those too. And third favorite Star Wars character would probably be Grand Admiral Thrawn.
It's a good choice. I'm still thinking of mine. That's a hard pick.
I got Kenobi at 1 and Han Solo at 2. So
You downgrade Anakin / Vader that far?
oh, I love them, but there's about a dozen Star Wars characters that I love so much.
Hater.
I love that he's got his hair tied up. I've got a friend who not only dresses up as Qui-Gon every Halloween, but he's got the same length hair as Qui-Gon as like his everyday hair and has for many years. And he ties his hair up the exact same way, whether or not it was just a coincidence because it's convenient, or he's doing it on purpose. I don't know, but it's hilarious. I love it.
What's hilarious is seeing that freaking Jar Jar visor head thing.
Yes. Coruscant? Oh, so cute. Their best Star Wars character.
Coruscant. Don't worry, old audiobook people used to say that too.
So he's already aware that, it's heartbreaking. Chauncey, I think I'd pick someone like Natassi Dalla, I think, for my third best Star Wars character.
Yeah, I know she's way up on your list.
Yeah.
That bitch.
She's amazing.
She is one hell of a
here's
villain.
the infamous scene of Metachlorians. That set right there. Oof. Which the Metachlorians, I think if they nixed the Metachlorian ideas, I think that people would have been less angry about, less angry at George Lucas for the prequels. I actually didn't know that they went into an actual palace for these shots.
Yeah, they had changed some stuff.
Yes, yeah, the lighting, for example, there.
Sean C says Red and Princess Leia. I like Red. Chris Snyder said, "Is this the first watch along for a making of on YouTube?" I can't think anywhere I've seen that creative idea. Chris, I fucking love documentaries, man. I love making ofs. For example, I'm not a big Rob Zombie Halloween guy, but there's a making of his first Halloween movie that's like so in depth. It's like 2.5 hours long. You get to see a bunch of the takes. It's incredible. I love making ofs. We'll definitely do some more of this as we go. And this was a short one, so it was a no-brainer. And here's
2.5 hours. That's longer than the actual movie.
Yeah. Here's a. We're not going to see it quite yet. Where history repeats itself.
I want to know who's singing. Who's doing the theme? Who do you think?
Oh, definitely Ahmed Best.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it does show us. Yeah. Such a funny guy. He was 25 at the time of this.
Who was?
Ahmed Best. I was just wondering if he was a little younger than that or a little older than that. I had to look it up. Anthony Daniels. I was born ready.
I got a legitimate question. Is it legal to vape on cam? On YouTube? I opened my my downstairs window. Killed two birds with one stone here. I've never done it before. But I don't think there's any bylaw against it.
That's a good question.
Twitch would be yes, but YouTube I don't know. It does not prohibit videos that show vaping unless it includes inappropriate content, including, for example, minors smoking. So I think it's okay.
I found an old article from the Washington Post, 2019, September, basically saying the platform generally does not prohibit videos that show vaping unless it shows inappropriate content, including, for example, minor smoking.
Man, Ahmed looked like he was dying there. when they were tying the cold wrap around his neck.
I could only imagine how hot it is out there,
yeah.
man. It's just brutal.
That's speaking like a producer who doesn't have to wear a heavy costume. It's a temporary break in their holiday to enjoy the heat. Temporary break being like a 12, 15 hour day in a costume. Oh, and they get the storm, right?
Yeah, so the crazy thing about the storm is it's the biggest storm since
The OT, right?
since they filmed fucking
Yeah.
A New Hope there. They hadn't had a storm that big to come back and film Phantom Menace. And wow, it strikes again.
Brutal. 75 mile an hour winds, they said? Which, like, really, if they could call that on a dime, if they needed to get the Trade Federation to walk through Mos Eisley or something and just blow everything up, that looks battle-worn right there. Oh, yeah, and all the pods are broken here. Digital technology, oh my god.
It's completely fucked.
Yeah.
For those wondering, we are at the 37-minute and 11-second mark, or in and around there. Watching the making of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and there's a very pissed off Rick McCallum. Imagine being the producer on this movie when that happens. Oof.
Like, imagine just resting your hand casually, no problem, just resting your hand on Sebulba's pod racer. Like, that is, oh man, that's such a cool idea.
I don't think pod racing gets enough respect. I think that the race,
It's
especially the
such a good
extended
idea.
sequence, is really good. Sean C. says, hit the thumbs up, people.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the wig for Qui-Gon just disappears. Oh, and his beard. The cleanup crew must not have had a good time.
Oh, that'd be brutal, man. Utterly
Yeah.
brutal.
To deal with the heat to set it all up, and then the heat cleaning it up. Look at all the prosthetics there. Damn. Oh, that's a that's a paper cut pod racer.
Just a cutout board.
Yeah. Back to the UK. This is his last shot, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it was. Oh, look at the Naboo Starfighter in the back. They got the feed. That's actually set for the feed hangers. You can see the columns there.
You struggling, Tommy?
Little bit, but I'm enjoying it.
I know you're tired.
Yeah, that's the shitty part of the job, but you know how that is.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. We don't have time to talk about it tonight, but give me a ring tomorrow and I'll fill you in on some unsafe
my
workplace
whole fucking
habits.
schedule is just fucked this year. I'm counting down the days to summer.
Amen. Sean C says he loved the pod racing N64 game. Ian and I talked about that a couple months back now. We need to get all three of us in here one day and just talk Star Wars gaming for a couple hours and just have a blast with it.
I was within like 3 minutes from playing that last night, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at it on the Steam list. I'm like, I could throw that on, but I didn't have my controller. It's upstairs in my my Oculus box. Now,
Does
oh, sorry, go ahead.
You know, I can't play most of it anymore because I got a Mac. I do have Windows installed alongside it. A partition, but my Steam library is just filled because Humble Bundle has their their stacks and stacks of shit. I think one time you could pay like $20 and get like almost everything Star Wars from the whole Steam library. And, yeah, I've gone through quite a bit of it.
Do you guys think, by the way, that water was steaming? Do you think it was hot water, or do you think it was just that cold in the air? What do you guys think? Because that must have been mighty uncomfortable if it was cold.
I don't know. Would they really have made it that hot intentionally?
Well, he comes out a little red on the face, so yeah, I'm not sure. Bang.
He got blowed up.
It's incredible that was the last shot they filmed. Like it's fun knowing that like such
It's
a
an
small
interesting
little
one. That's for
half
sure.
second shot was the last shot they filmed.
Look at that computer, though.
That's actually one of my favorite things about looking at old VFX videos or behind the scenes stuff is to look at the technology they have.
Oh my gosh.
Physics engine that they're building themselves here. Oh, Auto. Oh no, it's Sebulba, that's what it was.
It's so weird to hear Sebulba's voice just like that.
Coming out of a human.
Yeah. It's freaky. Oh my gosh.
It's so fitting to the character too.
The voice is so good.
It's definitely an art, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. That's deep.
That's like throat singing. This is interesting too. They're screen sharing. I think George Lucas is back in California at this time. So they're screen sharing.
Yeah, they did this process all through the prequel trilogy.
Like that's just... Could you do that back in 1999?
The regular person, maybe
could
not.
If you had enough money.
Them, yeah.
Yeah, like it's very much exclusive technology.
I mean, you just gotta look at their monitors. They're their old fat style ones.
They're mentioning every now and then a Panaka shot, a Captain Panaka shot. Do you know what they're referring to at all? Like, was there an issue?
Yeah,
with
they're
the
talking
actor of
about when
Panaka scene?
Lucas started to like really dislike some of the performances, and he started getting stuff edited in post or changing people's performances in post, and they go back to the Panaka shot on the bridge of Padme's ship.
Oh, okay. So it is that. Sean, are you asking us? Sean in chat's asking, what were your guys' thoughts on the first game for N64? Shadow of the Empire was the first game he got. Are you asking us what our first games on the N64 were, or just our thoughts on Shadows of the Empire?
If it was first games on the N64, mine would have been the Episode 1 Racer. And then not too long later, but I think later, maybe at the same time, I got Rogue Squadron 3D. I never actually had Shadows of the Empire for the N64. I played it later.
I think my first N64 game was Harvest Moon 64. I paid way too much money for it. I got Shadows of the Empire. I remember when I got it. I had actually broken my leg and couldn't go up the stairs, so I had to sleep downstairs, and my parents got me Shadows of the Empire as a present, which was an amazing game.
The lighting here in the ship looks a little weird. Maybe it's just me.
It's a little more red, is what you're thinking?
Yeah.
The corner where Obi is right there. Corner where Ewan McGregor is. That's definitely red in the movie. I don't remember it being so red on the other side, though. You might not be able to see it from that angle, though, very well. It's cool to see how they spliced the footage together like that, though. That they were capable of doing it with just a screen cut vertically, not even isolating a whole actor, but they've just got a vertical line to split one take and another take together, and it doesn't intrude with the actors beside him. Like that's fortunate just from the placing of the actors on set.
As we've edited some of Haddonfield the Vanished of what we shot last year, we still don't have the film done, but like I can only imagine having to piece together a major motion picture film that's $50 million. How many fucking times they must have had to watch everything from the time filming finished to the time the movie came out, which is over a year. Like, how many times have they seen that fucking movie? Like,
do you think they actually go and watch it again for pleasure today? Or do you think they've just got it in the back of their eyelids?
I think you end up detesting it, probably.
I think it depends who. We know Lucas does. Lucas loves them. I have no doubt Rick McCallum probably does as well. But who knows about the rest?
I suspect Ewan McGregor does, because he's just got that positive attitude about Star Wars all the time. As an acting in a movie, I don't know if I'd go back and watch it. That'd be hard for me, I think. I love that his script is just taped in front of him.
I think this is the first they've shown Yoda in this thing, isn't it?
They showed them assembling the prosthetic earlier, the
Okay.
The puppet. But this is the first time they've seen it moving on the program, yeah. So they've got this lighter green Yoda on the right of him. and I'm wondering if that's the one that they would use for SFX, special effects. Sure. Yeah, because this is one of the first major movies to have fully digitally realized characters, right? In such a smooth animation, I think.
This certainly sounds right.
Yeah. Oh man, Yoda moves so realistically. Like Frank Oz is a genius. Absolute genius.
I loved that scene when I first seen it. Just the Yoda and the Kenobi scene, both of them a bit younger. I don't think that scene gets enough credit.
One of the things I like a lot about it as well is that, and they don't do this ever again, is Obi-Wan gets down onto the ground. And he gets to the level of Yoda, but most of the time, I don't think you see that ever again. I think Yoda gets elevated on his chair, or people are sitting down with him. But you don't see people like, I will get down on the floor to talk to you at your level, like eye to eye, which I really like to see. Sean's asking your opinion on Shadow of the Empire there, Sean.
Such a creative project. It was basically the marketing project that Lucasfilm did without a film. You know, they marketed for a film without a film. It's incredible. If you haven't seen the making of Shadows of the Empire, someone put together a wonderful documentary, covers all the bases, the game, the comics, the novel, the toys. It's fantastic. You need to go check that out. It's a blast. And I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the game. Obviously very outdated now, but it doesn't get enough credit in my opinion.
It'd be interesting if they did a total remake. I mean, but then again, we could say the same thing for a lot of installments in Star Wars gaming.
That is true. Yeah, it'd be cool to see it a little bit more updated. I will say my least favorite thing about Shadows of the Empire is flying the snowspeeder on Hoth. Compared to the rest of the game, that whole part handled terribly.
Very much so.
Get the mocap suits out.
Creatures. Yes, let's add a cantina full of creatures.
Again, such positive attitude from Ahmed. What a class act. He's great. So, in the... Oh, no. Never mind. I'm thinking of episode 2. I was going to ask a question about him getting stuck to the droid. Oh, no, it isn't this one. No. Yeah, so episode 1. He jumps down onto the ground and shoots the battle droids, right? By way of, hot wiring the droid stuck to his foot?
Sounds right to me.
Yeah. It wasn't in the Battle of Geonosis, so yes, it would have been this one.
That's pretty funny. It's stuck to his leg, and now they're modeling it.
Oh, the little minis. I love how well so they've got the engine suspended, and I love how well the suspension allows them to move, just like they end up being in the movie. They don't actually stabilize them or anything like that. They like the suspended wobbly look, which is great to see.
By the way, not looking at my phone. Looking at the tablet. Someone thought I was looking at the phone.
Hater.
case anyone's hopping in right now, we're getting towards the tail end here of the beginning, making Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. We're at 55 minutes and 5 seconds, or thereabouts.
We will probably end pretty abruptly after this. I know I got to run. But we'll definitely be back with Across the Stars in the next week or two. And yeah.
Yeah, I may have gone too far.
I think they're referring to the pacing at this point.
Yeah. It's very jumpy. That's what they're claiming. And when you go so long with so much information happening, you can't really cut that out without becoming more jarring or more jumpy. Which is, I think, what a lot of direction falls victim to. Look at Justice League 2017.
I love how Skywalker Ranch just has such a homey feel. It's not like this huge business office or anything.
That's George Lucas's personality, though. You get that attitude from him, or at least I do. I get this kind of personality that is very open and relaxed. Jabba.
Digital Jabba.
Yes.
Yes, just make the whole movie in CGI. The whole movie.
Miniature Naboo Starfighter. Oh, this is the pyro for the minis?
Yeah, practical effects.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so nice.
What did they blow up for that Naboo fighter?
They didn't actually.
The Naboo fighter.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Ian.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Were you asking where it blows up in the movie?
No. Did they just let some smoke off controlled, or what did they use just now?
That would have been a small charge that just a smoke charge kind of popping. It didn't look like there was any damage to the fighter itself. Probably just basic black powder. Imagine watching that whole... I should do this. I'm going to go back and watch that whole scene without music or sound one day. The smoke animation as well, behind them. The smoke animation is something that is still only just recently gotten pretty good, and even then, Hollywood movies mess it up all the time.
Oh, the
I get
magic.
chills. Chills. The Great Duel. It's not even Duel of Fates. They call it the Great Duel.
When did they change the name?
Would have had to been close to a release because it's already 1999 at this point.
Huh.
He's already got music for the third film in his head. The man is a visionary. I don't care what anyone says about him.
Tommy was definitely going for
he's
George Lucas glasses. That's what it was. You were
Friggin'
going for
legend.
young George Lucas.
You think I'm going for young George Lucas classes, huh?
This
He's
is
not
chilling.
that young in this video.
No, he's not.
To hear them go from tuning straight into Star Wars is so chilling for me. Star Wars music is positively legendary.
How often do you actually hear John Williams talk?
Not very often.
Oh, here we go.
Imagine being hired as a chorus member to sing an alien language. Right here, the music's starting.
Less disturbed, yeah.
I love it.
I don't care what anyone says. The prequel soundtrack, all three
It's
movies, is oh my
amazing.
god. See, this is positive Star Wars talk. We're not ranting and raving about someone getting fired or somebody bashing other people or someone jealous because someone else has more subscribers than them or anything of that sort. We're sitting here enjoying something we love. That's the way it should be.
It's across the stars, baby. It's exactly what we're all about.
We're really across the stars tonight. We're from basically just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada, down to Baltimore area, and then over to Korea. So we're a little bit of everywhere.
Just outside of Seoul. Okay, so there was a time in Toronto, there was a Star Wars concert, and an orchestra came together to play Star Wars music. I almost went because what I thought they were doing was playing a blank reel of the movies, and they were going to play the music live over the movies. It was just purely a symphony, which would have been cool to see still, but I would pay good money to watch the movies with a live orchestra.
That'd be amazing. I'd be so ready for it.
I would.
Yeah,
cry.
but would they actually make the presentation of the film good, or would it just be like a cheap projection?
That's a good point. I don't know. But
Oh
at
my
the same
God.
time, I've seen Star Wars so many times I could like watch it on the back of my eyelids and just like listen to the music. So any video quality would do if it meant I didn't have to watch it on the back of my eyelids.
The sound of the pod racers. Oh my god.
Dickhead, Sebulba.
Podo.
Dickhead.
Yeah. You're right. The sound of the pod racers, like it's an exaggerated motorcycle, but I love that doop, 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 doop sound. Did they end up making the Sebulba engine sound louder?
Yes, they did.
Final
They
Cut.
did. That was all
Yeah.
Lucas's call too, not the sound mixers. So
Makes you not like them even more.
But it's
All
such a
that
stressful part of
pollution.
the movie. Oh man. I remember the first time watching the pod race, and like, it was really edge of your seat material, and it's a heavy amount of visual effects. Like it's a lot of post production to get all that together, but it's like edge of the seat excitement and stress that you'd normally get from a more practical.
oh, now this would be awesome. What they're about to show with Rick McCallum. Oh man, I'd go
The
nuts.
midnight?
Yeah.
Remember when movies used to release at midnight?
Yep. I used to love that.
Remember when we could gather in movie theaters?
Yeah. Right. Right.
It's a foreign concept. Coronet. Nice. Coruscant? What? The costumes put together for their first premiere based off of just trailers. Amazing.
I do remember my midnight release of Revenge of the Sith was very similar to this. It was pretty nuts. But nothing like this. What's about to happen?
Hey guys, what if it sucks?
That's a big theater.
Classic. In my opinion anyway, every Star Wars movie should start with the space crawl. To me, it's just like it sets the mood and the atmosphere and the tone. And I love that it ends on him.
Drafting episode 2. Yeah. The loud cheer as the fanfare starts as well. Like it's so accurate to how it is in most premieres of Star Wars. And then it was Rogue One did away with it, right?
Yep, and then Solo did away with it. And I imagine most of the new movies probably won't have it either, which is just dumb. It really does show how out of touch the people. And it's not a shot at Kathleen Kennedy or anything. It just there's a lot of people that don't understand the fan base, which is frustrating.
I've never thought of that. Now the Skywalker saga's over, they might just do away with the crawl.
That's terrible. Such a horrible
Never thought
idea.
of it.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen.
Pause back when that happened in Rogue One. Anyways, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That is going to do it for Across the Stars. We'll be back maybe an hour earlier in a week or two, and maybe we can get Tommy B back on at a more appropriate time after he hasn't been up insanely late or insanely early. Tommy B, man, thanks for doing this, dude. I know you want to get out of here and get to bed. Where can everybody find you at? Hopefully you enjoyed it,
you can catch me hanging around the Facebooks. Check out Fandom Empire Den, our channel's Facebook group, where we post all kinds of random miscellaneous bullshit that is sometimes usually interesting. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650.
Awesome, man. We'll see you Tuesday. So can't wait for that, dude. All right, he's just nodding. All right. Good night, Tommy. You hater.
Well, what more am I supposed to say? I already said where the hell you can find me. Fuck, why don't I just go fuck myself?
There's the classic line. We need to get that on a t-shirt for you, man. Or a hoodie.
Oh my god.
Or a hoodie.
Find a way to Star Warsify it. Why don't I go Sebulba myself?
I could live with that.
Oh, that's appropriate. Or Jar Jar, I guess. If I felt so compelled to wear a Jar Jar on me.
Ian, we'll have to do this again soon, man. And next time won't be a watch along. We'll sit down and dive into something Star Wars. And good to be back. Good to do this. Good to have positive vibes. It's my fault for the audience numbers because we had no stream up early, so most people didn't know about it. And it's frustrating, but the people that were here, we had a fun time with, and can't wait to do it again with you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure to be back. And new apartment, new internet. It's a little slower, but it works. And yeah, looking forward to going forward with it.
Alrighty, to everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys coming out. Have a fantastic night, and don't forget, Jar Jar is the key
to everything.